So welcome to my other segment of current electricity, and this is my last discussion in this series. So we are looking at the 3-pin plug. So you need to know about the 3-pin plug. For example, you might have actually seen this is a plug that we put onto the socket. So if you notice, it's a 3-pin, but of course this one is an ordinary one, as I'm going to highlight a few concepts under that. Now when you open the a 3-pin plug, this is the way it is going to look like. These are representing screws. So there are 3 wires in a 3-pin plug. No wonder it's called a 3-pin plug, because there's definitely 3 wires. So what are those 3 wires that you're going to have? Well, one, you do have the wire that is connected to this device there. This is what we simply call as being a fuse. And the wire connected to the fuse is simply called as being the live wire. So that is called the live wire. Then the wire connected to this side, this is what we simply call as being the neutral wire. So we can call it as being the neutral wire. Then this one that you are seeing here is representing what we simply call as being the earth wire. So you need to know the color codings that you are going to have there. So we definitely have to know. Now, what are the color codings that we are going to have for the live wire, the neutral wire, and the earth wire? What color codings are they given? Well, the original color codings that they have been given, the live wire is normally given what we are calling as being brown. So it is brown in color, but because of the coming, sometimes if you do not have brown, they can simply use what we are calling as being red. So sometimes you can use a red. Okay, so sometimes you can use a red, for the color coding of that one. But the original one that you're supposed to use is a brown one. For the neutral one, we use what we are calling as being a blue. So blue is the original one. But if at all you do not have blue, in some cases they use what they are calling as being black. But blue is actually the original color coding that we normally use. Then for the earth wire, this one is simply given, it has got stripes of, green and yellow. So sometimes it has stripes of green and yellow, that is the standard, but sometimes it can just be green. Yeah, so sometimes it can just be given green. So this is what you need to remember. Now, if we know where each wire is located and the color codings that are there, sometimes remember the live on your plug, you're going to find L, the neutral you're going to find N, and on the earth wire you may find a symbol for the earth that may actually look something like this. So this is the symbol that you may find. So that is representing the earth wire. But let's briefly talk about what these wires do. What does the live wire do? Let me start with what we are calling as being the live wire, which we sometimes abbreviate as L. What does it do? Well, when we talk about the live wire, like I said, it is typically a brown wire. So it is a wire that carries electrical current from the power source to the appliance. In other words, it's the wire at a high voltage. I can simply say a wire at a high or at a higher voltage. That is what we simply call as being the live wire. Or you can simply say, that it is a wire. You can simply say that it is a wire that carries the electrical current, from the power source to the appliance. So it is going to from the power source to the electrical appliance, like a TV, is it a heater, your phone? So that is what we simply call as being the live wire. And remember, when it comes to the live wire, remember we said it is a wire at a high voltage, and always the live wire is always connected to the fuse. The fuse is always connected to the live wire. No wonder you see the side where you are going to see a fuse. That actually indicates that it is a live wire. Like we said, what's the color of this one? Normally it is given, brown. That's what you need to remember. Right, let's talk about what we are calling as being the neutral wire, normally represented by N there. What is exactly the neutral wire? Well, we can say, like I said, this is a blue wire, and sometimes it may be coded as being, black. But what exactly does it do? What is a neutral wire? Well, it acts as a return path. In other words, we can say it retains the electrical current, from the appliance to the source. So it actually acts as a return path. So when the live wire brings the electric current, then the neutral wire acts as a return path, and that in turn helps to complete what we are calling as being, the circuit. What about the earth wire? Of course, the earth wire, you may find again E as the symbol that they are using. So let me just say the earth wire, you may find they are using E as the symbol there. What exactly does the earth wire do? Well, like I said, the color coding for this one can either be green and may have stripes of green and yellow, or sometimes just green. But what happens is that the earth wire is the one that connects. So we can say it connects, the appliance. So it actually connects the appliances, it connects the appliances metal casing, to the ground. So that is what it does. So it actually connects the appliance metal casing to the ground. So if you have a stove, then there's going to be an earth wire from that appliance going to the ground. So it's the earth wire is the one that actually connects it in that way. Now, why is that done? Well, why is it connected to the ground? Well, it actually, maybe we can say, providing a safe path. We can say a safe path for electricity in case of a fault, or we can say maybe a short circuit that may occur. And thereby, once it does that, it helps in